Hulk has had many TV projects that have been shelved or cancelled. It seems it's just as hard to get a new Hulk show in development as it is to get a new movie. If you were to ask me, I'd say a new TV show should be a bigger priority, as it's been proven time and time again that TV is a better way to adapt comic books. Also, Hulk's first worldwide success was his TV series, so there was clear success to be had with Hulk on TV if done correctly. A second season for the 1982 Hulk animated show was pitched to NBC. It would have changed a few things around, such as having Hulk not speak and include She-Hulk as a co-star. However, NBC seemingly was not interested in continuing with its Hulk show. Coincidentally, the idea of revamping a second season while featuring She-Hulk as a co-star would happen with the 90s cartoon. In 1983, two ideas for animated Hulk shows were proposed, but never went anywhere. One would have been about a teen Hulk, while the other was about a bulldog who transformed into a Hulk. Bill Bixby and Nicholas Hammond planned on creating a made-for-TV crossover between The Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man. Bixby was going to direct, while Hammond, Stan Lee, and screenwriter Ron Satloff were to co-write the special. Universal Television agreed to lend Hulk to Columbia Television, and things began moving along steadily, with an air date around spring 1984. There are little to no details on what the movie would have been about, except that Spider-Man would have been in his black suit. Unfortunately, Universal pulled out of the project as they didn't want to do the movie without Lou Ferrigno, who at the time was in Italy filming Hercules, thus cancelling the movie. Lou Ferrigno has said that he was never notified of the project, which likely means that Universal didn't care enough to go through with it, or somebody forgot to ask him. The death of the Incredible Hulk wasn't meant to be the last time we saw Bill Bixby's interpretation of the character, as there were plans to bring him back in a movie called The Revenge of the Incredible Hulk, which would have had Banner's mind in the Hulk's body. Contrary to popular belief, the movie wasn't scrapped due to Bixby's decline in health, but rather because of the poor ratings for the death of the Incredible Hulk. However, Bixby did get one final shot at portraying Banner in the cancelled She-Hulk pilot from 1991. Bill Bixby filmed a few scenes with Mitzi Capture, who is playing Jennifer Walters, before the studio pulled the plug. An animated show called Hulks was planned to be released in 2003. The series would have followed Bruce Banner's son, Bryce Banner, who is also a Hulk, through high school. It's been reported that James Marsden was going to voice Bryce Banner, but I also see that someone named Jason Marden was cast to voice him as well. So I'm not sure if that's just a typo or if a few wires were crossed. It wouldn't matter in the end, as nothing came of the show except for a small piece of art from Stephen E. Gordon. Another proposed show has even less information, none at all. In this, what I presume to be a press kit, is a mention of a live-action show that would have aired in 2004. At the 2008 Licensing International Expo, a new animated Hulk show titled Hulk Gamma Corps was announced. Set to tie into the 2008 movie, Hulk would have encountered alien civilizations and classic Marvel villains. However, the show would later be revamped into Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, as Joshua Fine thought Hulk's world was too good to regulate into a self-contained series. In October 2010, Guillermo del Toro expressed interest in creating a Hulk TV series, eventually writing an outline and sending it to ABC. By 2011, Del Toro stated that it wouldn't be connected to the newly established Marvel Cinematic Universe, and would take heavy inspiration from the comic books, following a mid-20s Bruce Banner through his transformation into the Hulk. Betty would have had a big part in the show, in addition to the love story between Bruce. Jeff Loeb jumped on board as a co-writer, known for his previous works on Hulk and as the head of Marvel Television at the time. A screenplay was delivered to the network and awaited a green light. During this time, The Avengers released, shattering box office records, launching comic book movies to new heights, and turning Hulk into a fan-favorite Avenger. However, it would seem that Marvel and ABC had the opposite reaction to the fanfare, as in August of that year, a showed spin-off series was announced, putting the Hulk series on indefinite hold. I had one more meeting after Avengers with Jeff Loeb from Marvel, and he said, "We're working on it. We're waiting for a new writer." He gave me the name of the writer and the resume, and I said, "That sounds great, let's wait for him." Because we had delivered a teleplay, and I haven't heard since then. By 2013, the project was officially canned in favor of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's unknown what the budget would have been like for a show like this, but Del Toro was adamant about using a combination of CGI, prosthetics, and puppetry to bring the Hulk to life, which is something that I think should be done in future Hulk movies and shows. Despite having said that this would not be a part of the MCU, it seemed it was retroactively being shifted as a prequel to the Incredible Hulk movie, as Jeff Loeb had mentioned in a later interview that they were closely basing Hulk's design off Ruffalo's, with Del Toro jumping in to clarify that it would be set before the Avengers. I think this is where the series began to fall apart. I can't see how they would have liked to connect this to the MCU and be influenced by Ruffalo's interpretation without having him in the show, unless this were a prequel set years before Avengers and Incredible Hulk. There's also the fact that Red Hulk was rumored to have been the main antagonist, and, well, General Ross wasn't Red Hulk in the 2008 movie. If they had gone through with this being a completely different Hulk, then Marvel probably wouldn't have been too keen on having two different live-action Hulks running at the same time, as they're very tight on synergy, unfortunately. So either way, this show seemed troubling from the start, but I think it would have been a success if given the chance to air. The least ABC could have done was create the pilot. While I didn't add this to my Lost Media video, I think it somewhat counts, as the pilot script is completed but has not been seen by anyone. It's likely in Del Toro's possession, and is therefore not lost in the traditional sense, but if you want to call it Lost Media, then I guess you could. I don't know.